dark horse Heisman candidates. All right. Now, again, I'm talking guys that are not sitting in the top 10 of FanDuel odds. Okay. So I'm not talking about even Gunnar Stockton, dude. Like, he's sitting there, or Sam Levitt, or like, just go look at the top 10. Like, I'm not picking Arch Manning, or, I'm picking guys. You'll see the list in a second. There's not a single guy on this list that has less than 2,500 odds, 3,500 odds. So just know, this is what I mean when it's a deep shot. Okay, there's the deep shot logo on this graphic you're about to see. I'll just show it to you now. These are my dark horse Heisman picks. Now, I've talked a lot of nice things about Byron Brown the last couple weeks, so this should not be coming as a surprise to anybody. Again, just last season, he had over 4,000 all-purpose yards. He had 3,000 passing and another 1,000 rushing, 29 passing touchdowns, and another 14 rushing. So he had 43 touchdowns last year. He's going to Auburn. He's going to hang out with his old head coach. He's going to play with a bunch of his old receivers, his old tight ends, his old running back. What's not to like, other than a better competition he's got to play? But I'm telling you guys, USF last year, if they had any sort of defense, they would have been in the playoffs. And I don't think there would have been a lot of hoopla the way there was. USF had a scary offense, okay? Just ask the Florida Gators. Had to get that one in. But I like Byron Brown a lot. I like Byron Brown a lot to do something dangerous in 2026. I've said nice things about Auburn a million times. I think that Alex Golish and Byron Brown, I'm trying to think of a comparison of what they could be. I mean, Gene Chizik and Cam Newton, I guess, but I don't really even think that's on the same stratosphere. I don't know, but Byron Brown is massive. He has Cam Newton tendencies, okay? He's like the same. God, Lee, dude, I had his height pulled up. I don't know his height. Anyway, he's massive, and he's been really good in the full seasons he's played, so I'm going to freaking go with him. He's 6'3", 231. All right, and in my second one, I got Lenore Sellers. All right, look, Lenore Sellers, plus 3,500, long shots. He's not in the top 10 for guys that are coming for this upcoming season. He's not one of the top 10 guys in the odds, right? So just looking at his stats from 2024, and I know 2025 was a rough year. 2024, let's just look at his passing stats. He had 65% completion percentage, 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, okay? And then rushing in 2024, he had 674 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns. So he was 25 touchdowns, about 3,000 total yards, a little over 3,000 total yards. And then everybody said last year that coming into the season, he was going to be one of the dark horses. He was supposed to be like a first-round pick, okay? But they fired Mike Shula, okay? They've got Kendall Browse coming in there, Art Browse's son. If the offense is back for South Carolina, that means Lenore Sellers is back for South Carolina. That means he's probably a first-round pick again. And there's a lot of value in picking a guy like Lenore Sellers. I think my only concern about this guy is that he's got his decision-making. He's got to be a little quicker, and he's got to maybe just take off as sooner. His offensive line's got to be better, but the talent is all there. And I picked him last year as a dark horse as well. I don't really think he was that much of a dark horse. I think a lot of people were talking about him last year, but because he was, the 2024 season was so crazy. But I think now he's died off a little bit, and I think this is the time to grab him, because I think they're called dark horses, right? And I should have just called them deep shot Heisman picks. I don't know, but it's such a miss by me, huh? But overall, what I'm saying is Lenore Sellers is, without a doubt, got great value if the South Carolina offense gets figured out. Do you trust Kendall Browse or not? Nick Harbor's still there. They've fixed the offensive line. They did well in the portal up front of the offensive line. I think there's some value there. All right, and then John Mateer. Dude, John Mateer last year, plus 3,500. John Mateer last year, before he got hurt, was the Heisman favorite. I mean, I had a ticket on him. I had a ticket on John Mateer to win the Heisman last year. And then he was the Heisman favorite, and he hurt his thumb. And then things weren't really the same after that. And I don't really think he was that bad. The passing game wasn't there, but then they remember they played Alabama, and then it seemed like he kind of figured it out again, but unfortunately they lost, so it doesn't really matter. But, I mean, he had something going for a while. And he's still with Arbuckle, the OC, who he was with for Washington State. He's coming back. He's going to be his 5th year of college football. He's going to be he's going to be starting, this is his 4th year starting. This is going to be his 4th year starting. He's going to be fully healthy. if they can get it back to where he doesn't really, maybe he shouldn't be running as much. Like if they didn't have a run game last year. Oklahoma, they spent all that money on Jay Nott, nothing happened. So I think if John Mateer is back to being fully healthy and Oklahoma figures out a run game, John Mateer is right back in the race. And yes, he is a dark horse because not a lot of people are picking him. I may throw some money back down on him. I did it last year. I may do it again. I'm talking myself into it right now. I like that pick. John Mateer. I like that one. Okay, and then my fourth one is C.J. Bailey, NC State quarterback. If you've watched this guy, he is another massive human being. Hold on. This guy I'm pretty sure is like 6'5". Hold on. I should have this stuff ready. I thought it was a long day. 6'6". He's 6'6". C.J. Bailey is 6'6", 210. He's a lanky guy. But, man, he's got a cannon for an arm. All right, and he's done pretty well at NC State the last couple years. He hasn't blown the place out of the water. I wish he'd run a little bit more. He's not as bulky, so he kind of maybe a little scared to get hit sometimes. Dude, just last year he threw for 3,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Year before that, he threw for 10 interceptions, which kind of concerns me. He's got to be a little bit better from turning the ball over. But I mean, dude, it seems like he gets better every year. And if he had a really good team around him, this is the longest shot I've had of him. If he had a really good team around him, he could be dangerous. Like the fact that no one goes after C.J. Bailey in the transfer portal wows me. Maybe they don't know something, but that's the deepest of the deep shots that I've got. But I like C.J. Bailey a lot. Yeah, I like him a lot. I think that's a guy that will go to a combine one day, and people will be like, "Whoa, that this guy is the way they're treating Taylor Green in Arkansas right now. It's the same way they're going to treat C.J. Bailey. I promise you, absolutely the same way. Just get some more meat on the bone." And then my last one is Aaron Philo. He's a Florida quarterback, probably going to be the starting quarterback this year, I would assume. He came with Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator from Georgia Tech. He was like the Gatorade Player of the Year in Georgia in high school, broke a lot of records like Deshaun Watson and Jake Fromm had from back in the day. Guy's an absolute beast from what I've heard. I've actually watched a couple games with him live. Last year, I actually watched a game where C.J. Bailey and Aaron Philo played each other live on a Thursday night. So I think the guys, from everything I've heard, is really good. And if Florida is somewhat decent this year, it's going to be because of him. They've got a really good run game. They were able to keep Jaden Baugh. I've heard apparently they got a good team out there. I don't know. John Summerall didn't seem like they said that. He said that today. He didn't think it was that good. But I do think Aaron Philo is going to be a good quarterback if he is starting quarterback, so that's why I have got him down there. But I think if I'm going to pick one guy out of all five, I think John Mateer I'm talking myself into a lot. I think I personally am talking myself into John Mateer the more and more I look at this list. How about that graphic work, huh?